Recently we're getting a lot of questions about what really makes a killer growth hacking team. So we decided to make a video about that. What you need to get a growth hacking team is diversity of specialities in your team and also breaking the silos, so making sure that everyone in your company speaks to each other and understands each other. But this is what regular growth hacking team does. And we figure out three things that make your growth hacking team better than your competitors. And we're going to talk about it today with Daphne, who's actually the head of consultancy of our Rockboost team. And we've been building this team together with Daphne, and we're going to tell you what are our secrets, 3 secrets to the best growth hacking team.
Yeah, so I think you've mentioned the first one, which is really that diversity of the team. But more important than just having a diverse team, you need to make sure that you actually have a team who have in-depth knowledge of different areas, but also understand the different areas. So it's not enough just to have a sales and a marketer in the team. You need to make sure that the marketer knows the basics of sales, and you need to make sure that the sales knows the basics of marketing, because otherwise they're speaking different languages and they're not on the same line. The second part of it is actually having a process for optimizing the process. So it's great if you say, okay, you're a growth hacking team, go do it. But if you don't actually have these people talking to each other and you're not constantly looking at how are we doing things and how are we improving things, having the time to take a step back and actually look at what are we doing and how can we improve that, then there's no way to optimize it further. Then there'll just be frustrations and you won't improve it further.
Yeah, so how we do it at Rockboost is we gather around a table together, the whole team, once a month, and we're talking about how we can improve our work, how we can make it more smooth, how we can remove all the points of failures in our everyday work. So everybody around the table has to say, okay, I've optimized these processes. You can guys now go back, look at it, use it every time you need it. And this month I'm going to focus on this and this and this and that, because I've noticed that something went wrong. So I wanted to learn from that, and I wanted to prevent you from doing the same mistake.
Yeah, so a lot of companies just are in chaos mode. There's things going wrong. They're constantly trying to fix it and putting fires out, but they don't actually take a step back to see what is causing these fires. What are the reasons that things are going wrong? What is costing us a lot of time and energy? So that's something that we really want people constantly to be aware of. And they even have a backlog where during that month they can already put it on it. So people are already putting ideas on it, seeing like, oh, okay, well this went wrong. I don't have time to set up a process now because I've already got other things, but I'm gonna put it on the list so we don't forget it and so we can improve it. And then you just need to choose what has the biggest impact.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of prioritizing then. All right, let's move on to the next element.
Yeah, so we've had a diverse team with different specialities, and that they know each other's skills and they're actually talking and that they have regular meetings with each other and that they're also taking the time out to optimize the process. But there's another point of that, because the truth is it's great to have these joint meetings, but not everyone always says what they're actually thinking and feeling. And some people have personal barriers that they also need to overcome to develop further. So that's why we have another system that makes sure that our team is really top of the top, and that's the monthly check-ins. So yeah, I mean, we have our check-ins every month, so maybe you can actually explain what we discuss.
Yeah, so I think this is one of my favorite parts. Once a month we have this time when we sit together with Daphne one-on-one, and we basically talk about our anything that we liked or didn't like in the past month, and anything that we would like to achieve in the next month. So we basically make a retrospective and we give each other feedback. So I give feedback to Daphne and I tell her, okay, I didn't like how something went. I would like you to take an action, or the whole team to take an action on that. And then also goes the other way around. Daphne tells me, okay, I think you should improve this and this and that. And thanks to this, we really make sure that we are growing as a person and also as a team. What I really, really like is the happiness score. So every month we give our happiness score from 1 to 10, and which basically shows how happy we are in the past month. We were in the past month, and I must say this number is growing. This month actually we're almost at 9, I guess. Yeah. 9 out of 10. So good job.
Yeah, our goal is to have it a 9+, because you can talk about all the things that you want to do to grow, but there's also just silly little blockers that affects people's work and their productivity. And we want to actually make sure that we remove all those blockers. So the other day someone mentioned, okay, the fact that I can't lock up the office means that when I start later, I can't work later and I'm unable to complete my day when I want to. And it seems like something trivial, but it actually has a huge impact on that person. So it's trying to figure out all these things and being really critical on like what are the things that are preventing you from being the best of the best, then make sure that we also not just enable the whole team, but enable the individuals in the team to improve and develop themselves further.
Yes, that's right. I would also like to mention one more thing that is, I think, a cherry on the pie of this whole constant process of optimizing how we work, and this is learning time. So every Tuesday morning we have our dedicated learning time, and this is a holy time. Nobody is allowed to interfere. We really make sure that whenever we need some kind of skills, there's always a time to gain those skills and improve ourselves and grow also in this area.
Yeah, so we basically also discuss in the check-ins, like, okay, you've got 6 hours of learning time in the upcoming month, 4 times 1.5. How much time do you want to spend outside of work, and what are your realistic goals? So you have that external accountability that pushes you, and you also have the time at work where everyone's schedule is blocked, no one can plan in a meeting there, and you can just make sure that you learn it. And it's really a great way to have that focus on personal development.
You really have to provide all the means, starting from the platform where they can access all the learning materials, and ending at the planning, really the time for it, so they have this focus, so they know that this is very important.
I think you can encourage them by giving something yourself. Like, I agree that if you say, okay, you have 0 time during work, go learn something and find something to learn, you're not really enabling people. But if you say to people, okay, you have this time during work, and you know, if you want to go even faster, if you want to develop yourself faster, you can use this platform outside of work, and you're allowed to take your laptop with. Feel free to do it outside of work. So we've mentioned 3 things where we think, okay, if you really want to have a top growth team, you've got to have those 3 things. The first is you have your team with different people from different departments, and they all speaking the same language. The second part is that you take time to actually optimize the process. So you're not just working together as a team, but there's also dedicated time to see what can be done better, how can we improve our processes, and how can we remove the amount of fires that we're putting out. So we're really focusing on building an organization. And the last part is that you give people the individual time to talk about the things that they're facing, to help them with their soft and hard skills to develop themselves further.